I'm excited to announce to you a new product from A Gentle Feast. So this goes along with my 100 Gentle Lessons in Sight and Sound that's already been out. I had a lot of people requesting, well, how do I teach my children their sounds and their letters so that they're ready for 100 Gentle Lessons in Sight and Sound? So I am pleased to announce that 100 Gentle Lessons in Letters and Sounds is now out. Now, Charlotte Mason said that teaching your kids letters should be fun, that this is something that kids naturally want to learn about. It's something that parents naturally want to teach, but this doesn't need to be formal lessons. So when I was putting this together, I wanted to incorporate Charlotte Mason's view that this should be something that should be fun. I also wanted to bring in some of her other strategies and some of the things that I learned being a former kindergarten teacher and some of the new research on reading. So let me kind of explain some of the components. So the first component is your main teacher book. And each week it goes through the letters of the alphabet from A to Z. And for each week, there is a nursery rhyme. Nursery rhymes I use in 100 Gentle Lessons in Sight and Sound later on. So it will be good to have this foundation of the nursery rhymes. But the reason I include nursery rhymes is one, Charlotte Mason did when she was doing her reading lessons. But nursery rhymes are so wonderful for children. Children delight in them. They make children curious about the language. They're playful, they're imaginative, and it also helps children learn how to rhyme, which is a foundational skill that they'll need to be able to read in the future. So for each letter of the alphabet, there is a beautiful nursery rhyme. And I love these pictures that come from this old Mother Goose book that I found in the public domain. So for each week, there is a nursery rhyme. And then there's several activities for 4 days worth of instruction. These are meant to be short lessons, 10 to 15 minutes. Again, you'll be working at your child's pace, and you can add on or review as needed for your child. So for each day, you start off reading that rhyme, and then you teach your child how to make the letter with these letter pieces. So it comes with these letter pieces that are perforated to help you cut them out easily. And with these letter pieces, you can make all the capital and all the lowercase letters. And your child will have a mat that they can make their letter on. This is the green is the top and the red is the bottom. This is where you start when you're making your letters, and this is where you stop. And it comes with a little diagram that's color-coded here on how to make it using those pieces. I found that kind of having these basic pieces make it easier for children to see how the letters are put together. This paper is kind of rough, so your children get that tactile experience with making their letters. They also make their letters in a sand tray each week. Charlotte Mason said that children should make a big B in the air and let him name it. Then I'm like around O, crooked S, and T for Tommy. And you can name the letters as the little fingers form them with unsteady strokes in the air. To make the letters thus from memory is a work of art. It requires more careful observation on the child's part. A sand tray is useful at this stage, so I recommend that you get that to help them make their letters each week. The child draws his finger boldly through the sand, then puts a back to his D, and behold, his first essay in a straight line and a curve. So again, she's talking about using those letter pieces and teaching them how to make the letters this way. But the devices for making the learning of the ABC interesting are endless. There is no occasion to hurry the child. Let him learn one form at a time and know it so well that he can pick out the D's, say big and little, in a page of large print. Let him say D for duck, dog, doll, and thus uck, og, prolonging the initial consonant sound. And so that's what we're going to kind of be working on some of those skills in here. But so, like Charlotte Mason said, they learn how to make their letters with the lines and curves. They learn how to make it in sand each week. And then they have a flashcard for each letter. So when I taught kindergarten, I taught my kids how the letter sounds with this fun little rhyme that had hand motions and focused on the sounds. And so with the kit, you get these letter flashcards. And on the back is a little rhyme that goes with it. So A is angry ants, ah, ah, ah. And I give you a little video where I walk through all these and the sounds and kind of some hand motions, but you can make up your own. The focus is on having children identify the letter symbol and then the sound that it makes. We often stress teaching kids their letter names, but that's not actually what you use in reading. Getting them to associate the sound with the letter should come first, and then you can, if they don't know that's an A, you can work on that later on. But like D, for instance, drumming drum, drumming drum, duh, duh, duh. Focus on the duh. What other things start with duh? Well, like in the quote that Charlotte Mason had doll, dog, drum. Getting your children to think of things that start with that same letter is a really foundational skill for reading. So each week has these flashcards for each of the letters to teach them that, and you'll kind of review and build that rhyme as you go on. And then it has 2 phonemic awareness activities. So phonemic awareness is the ability to hear and produce sounds. So just like a baby is going to learn to hear, they can hear the words and understand them before they're actually able to say them. A child can hear the sounds, they can say them before they're actually able to read them. So the visual reading is what we're teaching in our formal lessons. This, I like to call this like hear and see reading. This kind of ability needs to come first, and we often skip that. A lot of times, if you read a lot to your children and they're in this literature-rich environment, they're going to pick up on this naturally. But these phonemic awareness skills are very foundational in order to read visually. So we're training the child's hearing to hear the different sounds and to manipulate those different sounds. We're teaching them how to make the sounds correctly with their mouth and then change the sounds around in the words that they're saying. So each week there's a phonemic awareness activity. And like Charlotte Mason was saying, these are meant to be fun. So a lot of them are up doing things, going on a flashlight hunt through your house, that kind of thing. And then there's also some, cutting, gluing, searching activities. So like she said, they should be able to find the letter in a group of letters. So can you get a red crayon and can you find all the letters that say ah? Okay, so that would be one of the activities. And then I try to make the activities follow the developmental timeline of how phonemic awareness develops. So first off, children are usually able to hear whether a word rhymes or not, and that's where that nursery rhyme reading is so key, and singing songs to your children, that kind of thing. And then later on, they're going to be able to take a sound and take it off a word, or add a sound to a word, or change the sound. So those are harder level skills that will come at the end of this book, so that they're ready to jump into formal reading lessons right after this. So all the activities you need, all the rhymes for each of the letters are in here. And then each week it gives you 4 lessons to do. And then there's an optional read aloud. So for each letter, there is one of my favorite read alouds that goes with that letter of the alphabet. And then there's an optional cooking activity. When my kids were little, I loved just teaching them. You just learn so much in the kitchen with them at this age, not just about like cleanliness and like how to cook, but just so much conversation, so much math skills, so much measuring, so much hands-on fine motor development is happening when they're measuring and pouring and that kind of thing. So for each week there is a recipe, and the recipe comes on these little cards so that you can have those for each letter. So Y is yogurt parfaits, Z is zucchini bread, that kind of thing. There's one of those for each letter. Again, that's optional, so don't feel like, oh my goodness, I'm so overwhelmed. I have lots of babies and toddlers. We don't have time to cook. Okay, that's okay. But if that's something you enjoy doing and you want to incorporate that, it goes with each letter of the alphabet. So with the kit, you get the lesson book that has all your nursery rhymes and your lessons, and all the student pages are in here as well, like all the cut out activities that they're going to do and all the games that you're going to play with them. So this is like a cutting out activity where they glue the egg onto the nest, that kind of thing. So everything you need is in here to open and go and teach. There are the recipes for each letter. There are the alphabet flashcards to teach those sounds and that rhyme. And then there's the word building pieces, and then that word building mat. So you have everything you need to teach your children their letters and sounds and build the foundational phonemic awareness skills that they'll need for formal visual reading later on. So I am excited to bring this to the homeschooling community. I know that I enjoyed being a kindergarten teacher and teaching my own children and lots of other children how to read. And this is just such a foundational piece. And I'm so happy. I just love how it's all come together. And so I hope you enjoy it as well. Thank you.